welcome back to Operation Magic. With me, the one, the only, oh, and he's cracking top, James Kemp and Joshua Dunn. Josh, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Well, tonight the Packers are playing the Cowboys, and it's in overtime, and I'm up here. So my wife is still downstairs watching the game, but I'm doing great, man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's why we got the best dad Packers shirt
Best dad. Okay,
that my wife got me.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow. So that's no one expected the game to be in overtime. No one expects the Cowboys to be any good. That's how that works.
Not at all. I was supposed to be on here an hour ago.
This must be terrible. Yeah. The Cowboys are terrible. So, anyways, we're here with another great edition. We've got a lot of good news, a lot of big news. Instagram's blowing up. So if you haven't followed us over there, Operation Magic Pod over on the Instagram. Here on YouTube, you got us right here at Operation Magic Pod. Follow, like, comment, #veteran. We have a comment from the Pacific Northwest, man, and I was so stoked to get this comment.
Dude, it made my day. It made my whole day.
When we get comments from veterans, it really says a lot about our show, because we've only been out 2 months, you want to say, roughly?
Yeah, no, we're almost to 2 months.
Oh, almost 2 months. And we've had comments. We have our friends who are commenting all the time, but this one really hit home. This is from @cbuff0218. Binge listening to these, and I'm thankful to have found a Disney podcast I can relate to. Another PNW, Pacific Northwest, #veteran, who's never been to WDW. I also hold the distinct honor of being one of the first million on Splash. Love sharing in the outrage and appreciation you guys cover. Yeah, I even learn things every episode. Keep it up, bros. Think about that.
I'm gonna be straight up blunt. When you have friends, there's support that's like kind of expected sometimes. Like I expect that I'm gonna have a couple of my family members are gonna log on and subscribe, and like, man, when you first start getting into the people who have nothing to do with you, they don't know you, they don't know you from Adam, and they're like, oh my god, I love it here, this place is awesome, dude.
We've done our job, because
amped up, bro.
What did we set out to do when we did this? Touch other veterans in a way that Disney touches them. Yes, tickle the taint.
I'm gonna tickle the veterans, bro. Hey,
whoa. TVMA, friends. TVMA. Hey. But no, check it out, guys. We're very thankful for any comments we get, friends, family, or new listeners. You guys are kicking butt over on the socials. We do have our 1K giveaway, guys. Keep your eye out for that. There's more information coming out. I made an announcement on the Insta. The last episode, you had Lou on. Man, Lou was a great episode to talk about a couple episodes ago. And we also, tonight's another special episode. But before we get to that, I've got 2 more plugs, because I've got 2 announcements to make. Our guest for the Halloween guest is going to be a good one. Katie Irwin, former cast member within the park. She still does stuff within the park's third party. I worked with her, so we're going to have a former cast member from Mansion and Big Boats and Pooh, all the fun things. We're going to talk some Disney experiences with her, and we're going to talk scary stories, because her and I both have stories for Halloween. So we'll have some spooky tales. Promos are out on YouTube and on the Instagram if you haven't seen it. And then, dude, this one I'm excited for, because I didn't think it was going to happen. And yeah, I know the guy pretty okay, but this is a t-shirt collaboration. He's an artist. And the artwork, how did you feel when I showed you the art?
I never would have thought to make that kind of art. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's extremely unique. I would definitely rock a shirt with some of those, some of my favorite kind of characters on it. It's like to me, it's a dark spin on animation, and I'm all for that. I love dark, spooky kind of shit like that.
Oh man. So we've partnered with the Skull Face Project. Matthew O'Brien. I've known him for quite some time. I've watched his art grow, and I was going through back through some of his art, and I go, we're missing an opportunity here, because he's got, he's created Muppets, Simpsons, Star Wars, Disney, and guys, the promo's coming soon, and it's gonna rock your socks. So watch out for that. We have a lot of big things happening. Again, 1K giveaway, Halloween episode. That. Anything else that I'm missing? Anything?
Oh man, not that I can think of. I think that's all we have going on. We're bored.
Oh,
we have jack shit we're doing.
Wait, what we do have? I'm gonna make it out there early. The holiday episode. We've been talking about the holiday episode. We want to don our Christmas shirts. I think we should do something special for that holiday episode.
I mean, I'm so torn because I have so many ideas.
So do I.
You know what I envision, and this could be just this. I mean, this isn't an idea that like I want you to hold me to. I'm just saying, like, I envision having a live video, just getting shitty and playing games, not even having guests on, just like us two, just
oh yeah,
like just
you know what I would like,
hanging out,
doing a live, drinking the eggnog. Hey, yeah, I love it. I love all the things. I love eggnog and hot toddies. That'd be a perfect time. I'd have my wife serving me drinks as we did this. It'd be amazing. I'd talk it out with her. But, yeah, ring the bell now. But I would also like to maybe have a surprise guest or two, maybe some live music of some sort.
That'd be cool.
I just ideas. I'm nothing to be held to, but we do want to rock our holiday sweaters. That's the whole reason I bring it up. You're going to start seeing our merch trickle in little by little. That's why I keep bringing in announcements. Our store's rapidly growing. Go to the store at operationmagic.printful.me. That's where you get all our stuff, all our merch. And you know what? That's enough of the pandering for now. I think we have a really good episode tonight, because this is one that I've been excited for, because you and I had some conversations off air. And if I can get candid with our listeners, Josh and I talk at least once a day, whether it's a joke, whether it's a meme, whether it's something for the show. We're going back and forth. And when he brought this idea to me, he goes, "What do you think about this idea for a show?" I go, yeah, we need it, because we'd be lying to ourselves, we'd be lying to our listeners if we didn't talk about our experiences as veterans and the military and how it ties to our experience in Disney. And for me, it's a big part of who I am. It's a big part of my story. But tonight, it's not about me. It's not about any one tale except Josh's tale. Josh has a unique experience of being an airman, working on airplanes. And that's pretty unique. That's cool. I more than I did. I did my part in the Marine Corps. But the fact is, his story in Disney does start somewhere, and
it does.
I like to go there, because for us, you have to understand where that love starts, and then the military comes in. Because you can be one of those people, and that they're out there, and I know some of you veterans out there who are probably, you only went to Disney for the first time in the military, so your story could almost tie into this. Josh, though, when did your story ultimately start with Disney? Like, when did it start? Like movies, characters?
Yeah. I mean, I think like any kid, my age, I'm 36. I grew up watching, quite a few Disney films. I'm that OG Toy Story, Lion King era kid. And for me, that was it. It was movies, some toys, but Disney, the theme park, the Orlando or Disneyland, California, was a distant, never gonna happen. Disney for me is movies, strictly movies.
Okay.
nothing really outside of that. So yeah, I grew up, you know, lower income family, and traveling to Disney was just nothing that wasn't a not even a discussion. You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of families now who you have kids going, I want to go to Disney World. I want to get like there's no point of asking. It's like asking to go to the moon back then when I was a kid.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? It's just like a waste of time. Um, so for me, yeah, it was just movies. I loved Toy Story and Lion King. That was my main thing, man, as a kid, were those two movies.
Okay.
And when I was, oh, man, I really should narrow down like the date, but I want to say I was probably 10. I'd give like a solid 10. Um, my mom ended up saving up for like the past couple of years, and she got our whole family there. And it was the best trip. I mean, my only trip, but I mean, it was everything I ever dreamed of, dude. You know, it was like I've said before. Um, it's one of those things where I thought the characters lived in Disney World. That was their home, and when I saw them all walking all over the park, I mean, I was just completely sold. I think that's where that spark was buried deep in me, and grew and just waited until I became an adult because I couldn't afford to go back. That was a one and done trip for our family. And props to my mom. If you are a lower income family, um, try to save to make it one time in your kid's childhood. Um, try to make it happen at least once.
No, and that's really important because, like I said, our story is going to be very different
Mm-hmm.
in many cases. But being a lower income family, it is tough, and being able to travel, at least make it once. And if you do make it once, go to Magic Dunn, right? Go to Kim Dunn. She'll make it happen for you all the way around.
For sure.
Yeah, go to her.
She's pretty good. She's pretty good.
She is good. However, so as you grew up, was Disney like in the back of your head, like when you went to high school or when you were? Was that just something that never was thought of, and again until
No,
maybe
yeah,
you
it was
maybe
gone.
when they're maybe when you're in the Air Force? Like, how was it like? When did you ever go back? Was it a one and done? What was it like?
It was gone, man. Uh, it was like I went in the rest of my childhood. It was similar to that. You ever hear that Chinese bamboo
Yeah.
that takes like years to grow, but it doesn't grow height wise. It grows like in 2 weeks. Like it
Okay.
immediately when it decides to grow up, it grows up like feet at a time.
Okay.
Um, so it'll stay dormant for years. That's kind of what Disney was for me. It got forgotten about. When I turned 11, 12, 13, I knew that I was never going to go back. That's what I assumed. So it just was like a great experience, out of sight, out of mind. I did beg my mom to go back because I knew we couldn't. Um,
Okay.
then when we had our senior trip in high school, my senior year, I thought, oh, cool. But then I learned it was just for Animal Kingdom, and it was
Oh
just for
boy.
the 2 days.
Okay.
Because it was like a party scene. They did the whole foam pits and all that shit. The clubs
Right.
and all
Right.
that. It turned into a party central. There's no magic in that. You're 16, 17, 18 years old. Who cares? At that time, you want to go and hang out with your friends no matter where it's at. So I stayed for that my first job and went by myself. So
So speaking of your first job was probably the military, right?
no,
No. Okay.
no, 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 man. I had an amazing first job.
Okay. What? So you saved up for your first job and went. So what was it like? What would you do? Tell us.
I was a bellhop for the Best Western Carolinian here in
Okay.
Myrtle Beach, and I work, dude. I could tell a whole episode about this
We'll probably
job,
have to.
but what I will say is I worked with four guys from Jamaica who were over on a work visa.
Okay.
Um, the one guy, his name was Anthony, and he taught me everything customer service, everything people skills, how to talk with people, how to do your job efficiently to where people feel like they need to give you money for a tip Not that they feel bad to give it to you, but they feel like they'd be doing a disservice not giving it to you. He invited me into his home, all the housekeepers, all Jamaican. They cooked for me. They taught me their culture. They taught me their language, Wataguan, James. And they taught me how to they turned this kid into this really, that's where my temperament comes from. I don't get mad a whole lot. I'm a very calm, very chill guy. I grew up surfing. I'm just I was a laid back kid originally, but then when I met James and Anthony, because this other guy's name was James, Basil James, and then Anthony, I got even more chill. And all those Jamaicans brought me in.
Oh, Jamaicans are dude,
just loved on me, bro. They were awesome.
I have stories about Jamaicans all day long. One of my dearest friends, Windstrong, or Windchime, as I've called him. That dude, Jamaican as hell. And again, cool as hell people. They love on you. They take care of you. Guys, I wasn't nodding off. I was writing because there's a game that we're playing later at the end of the show that he's going to have to deal with. And so I had to get my stuff in. So,
no worries.
But I honestly, I love that. So you saved for your first job and you went back, is what you said?
I saved money from that job as a bellhop to go on my senior trip, to go on my class trip. It was like $350. And, my mom was like, hey, if you want to go on this trip, this is an extra thing. You have a job, save for it and go. Yeah, if you don't save for it, you're not going.
Right. Okay.
So, and by the way, if somehow this video lands in Anthony's feed, Wataguan Anthony, I miss you, brother. So I saved with my money from that job, and I went on that trip. There was no relighting of that spark on that trip, though, for sure. It was still dormant. I had no desire to go back.
Do you think that was because of who you were with? Do you think that's a
No, I think it's because they shoved us in Animal Kingdom and forgot about us.
Well, yeah, that could happen.
So there's no Animal Kingdom's a fantastic park. When you're a big Disney fan, you can find the magic in Animal Kingdom. But when you're a young teenager needing that re-spark again, that's not the park to go to get that spark. I just rode Yeti, Mount Everest, over and over and over again until dark, and then I went to the clubs. So there was
that makes sense.
There was no magic to be had there at that time. The magic was happening elsewhere.
Oh, hey-o.
So it's just one of those things, bro, where
I know.
If they would have had it in Magic Kingdom, but they're not going to force a bunch of 17, 18-year-olds to be in Magic Kingdom and go, you're going to take this magic and you're going to enjoy it.
You'll enjoy every minute of it. No. You're going to do this and like it. No, I was a cast member for grad nights, and I tell you what.
I'm here. Just keep talking.
No, I see. Guys, if you haven't noticed, we do everything freeform. We do whatever the hell we want when we want.
Yeah, we're distracted all the time.
It's like a squirrel. We're like Doug. Squirrel. I mean, guys, I'm also going to promote a drink right now that I'm really enjoying.
A drink.
Yeah, a little clearly Canadian, not clearly Canadian. Sorry, Canada Dry Cranberry with some rum. Oh, hits the palate. It's perfect.
I'm doing a little bit of salty golfer.
Ooh, okay.
Look at that bad boy, bro.
We're pandering for beer sponsors at this point.
Hey, Grand Strand, whatever that is, sponsor the channel.
Yeah. Hey,
we'll do it at the very beginning. We're pandering so hard. We'll spend half an hour shouting out sponsors before our episode even starts.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah.
This is brought to you by Cybergenetics and Skynet, the #1 leading AI source in technology.
Oh, if you don't drink Kool-Aid, fuck you. Whoa, F-bomb. No, so back to you. And I was saying before you got distracted, I remember being a cast member and breaking up fun activities on Splash Mountain. But now back to you. Once you got into...
Never mind.
You know
Go
what?
ahead.
We'll
Continue.
talk about that later. It's my job. I had to do what I had to. No, no. So for you, it wasn't until you got in the military, right?
Yes.
Was there any inkling? Because before, like when you first got in and you got to your duty stations, we all know the first few months and years, sometimes school, boot camp,
Yeah, you're not
whatever
doing
it
shit.
is, you're not doing anything.
You're not doing
You
shit.
get to your duty station and you end up just hanging out. Was it one day you're like, hey, I want to go to Disney? Fuck, I'm doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs. I just want to go. I'm gonna plan a trip. How did that all come about? Because it just doesn't happen.
No, so again, when you join the military, you don't become rich, right? So I
No,
was still
God, no.
poor, right? So I didn't vacation. My vacations were coming home on leave,
Right.
and that was it. So it wasn't until my second deployment. On my first deployment, by the way, I bought a new surfboard, brand new TV, new bed, and money's gone.
All the dumb
So
shit.
yeah, you have to. So
Yeah.
my second deployment is where I was already with my girlfriend, now wife, Kim. And, I remember exactly where I was at, where I was on the phone, in the corner of our break room. And, we're just catching up. It's like late her time. It's whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'm coming home, and you can't exactly, you know this. You can't on the phone be like, hey, on March 2nd,
Yeah, no.
9 p.m. the plane lands. There's some dude over there like, we got it. Hey, March 2nd. So I'm like, I'll be home, November-ish. Don't know when, but I got like money burn a hole in my pocket. Well, where should we go? I want to take a vacation. I want to go somewhere because I
Right.
love experience over material. That's what I learned from deployment 1 to deployment 2 was
Right, yeah.
I gotta go do some shit instead of spending the shit on
Yeah.
surfboards. So she's like, why don't we do like Disney or Universal or both? Just take like a week or two and go down there. And I'm like, instantly on that phone, there was like a reigniting of that little ember in my soul that was like, that sounds fucking perfect.
Right. No, as it
And
should.
I'm like, here I am. I have the money to put me back in the spot where I was just like as a kid, like, I mean, it felt like a whole other planet, Disney World, right?
Right.
So that was our plan. And once those words left her mouth, I was so bought in. And that really is where we should have started being travel agents because back then, oh my God, bro, we
Yeah,
learned.
dude.
I had itinerary printed out for us, and she was over there on her computer, just like, hey, do you know we can go do this and this and this, and then, we can hop over here and get dinner here. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And we had a whole. People say don't make a plan and just kind of go with it.
Right.
That kind of depends on who you are.
Yeah.
We're planned people to an extent, like a rough draft of an essay, right? We know we want to be here. What we do there, whatever. So like Magic Kingdom Day 1 got to, right? So we made our whole list and we planned it. And that whole planning process is fucking exciting.
Oh, yeah,
And
I love it. I loved it being a
we
TA.
did like 12 days at Disney.
Yeah, you can. With everything that WDW gives you, from the golf courses to the water parks to the overall parks, you can spend a solid 2 weeks there. Easy.
And just to cap that off, we went from, well, I wouldn't say it was around 12 days. We went like before Christmas Eve, 22nd, 23rd ish, and we left like January 4th, January 5th. So
10 days, about 10 days, 12 days, something like that.
So now people will say, and it's proven, that is the worst time as far as crowds go.
100%.
And it is still to this day, besides if I take the trips of our daughter out of the equation, it's still by far our best trip. Like I said, I'm a very relaxed guy. When I know there's going to be crowds and situations are outside of my control, I'm really cool about it. All right, this ride's got an hour wait, a 90-minute wait, 120-minute wait. What am I going to do? Might as well hop in line. I mean, it's not going to go away. I want to go on the ride. So, and we took our time. We took our time, and it was perfect. We watched the fireworks for New Year's at at Hollywood Studios, and they had little Captain Morgan stations set up everywhere, and we just got some drinks, watched the fireworks, and let the whole crowd rush out, and we just took our time strolling back to the buses
Oh
because
yeah.
who gives a fuck?
Right, no, who really does?
You
Who
know,
really cares?
that is a perfect trip.
That is a great trip. See, guys, TVMA, I'm not blowing it up like he is. Yeah, see, there's the difference between him and I. Oh, man. So,
Oh,
all
my
right.
bad.
Yeah, right. Oh.
Please don't leave the video if the F
Yeah,
bomb hurts
yeah,
you.
of
Just
course.
keep watching. I won't say fuck anymore. I fucking promise.
No, as you can tell, guys, we're having a blast. We're having a ball. We love being able to play around and
Well,
just
this is
make
how we're
jokes.
gonna develop our community, right? If you're
Exactly, yeah.
8 watching this video, it's not for you. I put in our description, and I check it on YouTube. This is not meant for children. Now, we want to develop our own community and our own people.
If there's
You
an
know,
8-year-old, there's that kid who popped up on the Pat McAfee show.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Boston.
Yeah. Fuck Boston Rob or whatever it was. Like, whoa!
Yeah, that kid's a legend, by the way.
He
Absolute
is
legend.
a legend.
Yeah.
And
So if
speaking of
you're
Pat
that kind of
McAfee,
8-year-old,
yeah.
whatever, bro.
Have at it. Yeah.
Whatever.
No. Speaking of Patty Mac, that's what our show is. We want to be that type of show for the Disney community because the fact of the matter is you have to have a disruptor like us in the community of all the happy-go-lucky all the time. And that's so. All right, I've got it. As you've been talking, I've been writing stuff down, but I've also been thinking stuff's been brewing. Now,
Oh, you said brew. Sorry.
Brew. Hey, drink. That's like the drinking games for Archer. How many times does Archer say Lana? I'd be drunk by now. However, I
Future
digress.
drinking game podcast video.
Oh, yeah, it'd be rough.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Yeah. What was it about Disney that made you feel at ease for 12 days? I mean, Nat got it, I think. No, it flew away. Damn. Anyway, for 12 days at Disney, like what was it about that? What was it that you got from that?
So this is like a little bit of a rough patch. In December, so I ended up getting home mid-December from that deployment. In early December, I think I got home right before we left. I got home and we left, so like December 20th or something. And prior to that is when I found out that my best friend was killed.
Okay.
And I was going through there's stages to grief, and
Yes,
by the time it's now 2025, we're talking 15 years ago. It to me, it turns into this fresh, ever-flowing thing in the beginning to a solid lead weight by the time it settles in, right? And it's not going to exactly go anywhere.
Right.
And the shit I went through in the early stages of my career, I needed a place, and Disney felt like that perfect place. And I put all my eggs into that basket in that trip of like, all right, man, I don't know what you can do, but do your thing, right? I'm opening myself up. Let's see what we can make happen. What kind of magic, can come from this. And it's where I didn't realize this until I'm 36 now, so I'm older. But I realized that I had found a place where I could like truly decompress, truly enjoy myself, be myself, and enjoy it with my wife, who also, and that's the thing about going through stuff, bro. In the military is we don't go through it alone. Sometimes we feel like we're alone, but if we're married or have a girlfriend, or if you're a female, you have a husband or a boyfriend, and they're with you, it is, in my opinion, just as difficult for them to watch the person that they care about struggle on a really deep level, and they're not trained, they're not professionals, they're in it with you,
And the
and
worst part about
it's
it,
hard.
and you might be able to relate to this in that time frame, is you don't feel as if they care or they're there at all with you because of how messed up you are.
Yeah.
Did Disney allow you to see past some of that and see that, wow, this person is with me and this is my ride or die type of person?
100%.
Okay.
100%. When I think it brought more joy for my wife to watch me have like a moment where I can just, where nothing is on my mind and except in the moment.
Hmm.
It's hard to get that outside of that bubble. And I think when she was able to kind of connect those dots of like, I think that is a piece of her magic of how it affected her
Right.
relationship and her husband and our marriage. And, we tried to get married at Disney, and that's how deep that kind of connection bonded us, you know?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, as you have grown into where you're at now, has Disney allowed you to kind of find symbionts in being a veteran who loves Disney? Because I know when I was in, and we'll talk more about that because we'll talk about my experience.
Hmm.
Um, but did you find that like people were really like hard on you about going to Disney? Did they pick at you? Because I know the Marine Corps, Marines are Marines, but the Air Force, I don't know how that necessarily works.
You had your people who definitely found it weird. But those people always shared a common denominator, and it's that they've never been.
Yeah.
At
Okay,
least in
that
my
makes sense.
experience, a
No, it
lot of
makes
the
sense.
people who really gave me any kind of grief about it. Um, but at the same token, I was kind of an anomaly. I was in at this time frame. I was an MMA fighter.
Okay.
Um, in our deployment location, we had what was called a square gun. When you go to check out tools,
Yeah.
anybody can challenge anybody. There's videos of my YouTube where you would just one-on-one fight people, and I did that all the time. So to them, it was kind of like confusing, like,
Oh yeah,
because
the
I was like
masculine man
big
fighter.
gym guy fighting all the time. My commander came to my first MMA fight, so I mean, I had a very good history, like a good kind of few year history in my squadron of like this tougher kind of
Yeah.
masculine guy.
Right. Right.
And I think when they saw how much kind of fucking fun I was having, it was confusing because I'm supposed to go to casinos, strip clubs, all these bars,
Yeah.
places where I'm supposed to
You're
fit
supposed to be
in
the guy
more.
who's feared at the bar. You're that guy who, yeah,
Got some stories about that too. Yeah,
yeah, he sits at the end of the bar. He's feared, but he's the nicest guy in
give
the
me a
bar.
give me a jack and a beer.
Right?
Yeah.
You're
So
that
yeah, I
guy.
got some. I got some people like that, and I also had some people ask me like, "Hey, how was your trip? Tell me about it. Was it fun? I want to take my family. I got kids. They don't want to go because if they're single dudes, they're not really lining up to go to
Yeah.
Disney World. But most people that talk to me about it on like a normal level had families that they wanted to kind of take. Um, but we went once a year until I got out, maybe twice. No, sometimes twice. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
But at Disney, I never felt out of place. Sometimes
Yeah.
walking around when you're, you know, big dude and bald, you get some looks.
Yeah.
And Disney security always flags me. Always. They always pull me out and they give me a double check.
It was weird walking through Disney with a high and tight. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure.
Uh. Uh.
What's this guy doing
However,
here?
yeah. What is this guy doing here? However, so now you touched on something that's very pivotal to who we are.
Mm,
Because the one thing that bonded us, was the fact that we were veterans, and you know, but the mental health aspect.
yeah.
You have two people from two complete opposite worlds in the military. Common denominator, Disney. But what was it about the whole mental health aspect that you could pinpoint for Disney that helped you and that you could give to any other veteran?
Yeah, so like I describe it like carrying a rucksack around,
Yeah.
full of your problems, your depression, your anxieties, your fears, everything negative has to be carried. And my brain just materializes it to this big ruck because oftentimes, too, with stress and depression, you feel it in your neck, your back,
Oh yeah.
and that's kind of where the stress kind of takes hold. And Disney, for me, man, I just, not even when I walk through the fucking gate, but when I'm planning and in that mode of like right now I'm about to go in 2 weeks, and in about a week my brain will just instantly start shifting of like, I can set this bag down, I can leave it here, and I can go to a place where I don't have to deal with these thoughts all the times and feel this way
Right.
all the time.
Right. No, and that's amazing because being able to do that, you really feel like vindicated.
Yeah,
And
and even doing this,
yeah. Well,
even
and it's
even like finding a community, like I before I even started podcasting, I would look for channels that for
yeah,
an hour I could just like turn my
dive in.
brain off and go head first into what they have to offer. And that was my whole reason of even starting this, was like, I want to give this to somebody else like the community gave to me.
Now, yeah. Now, speaking of this, because you led right, you T-balled, you softballed this up for me, man, like right up, bang.
As a
Uh,
part.
yeah. Now, hey, as a podcaster and as a content creator, I know you struggle because you and I've talked off air, with like the anxieties of being a veteran and being humble, and because being a veteran, we're about being humble and creating content. You're promoting something that isn't very humble per se, but in a way it is because it's very admirable because there are a lot of people like us out there. What is it about doing a podcast specifically that helps you feel comfortable in the Disney space like you weren't before? Because you said you took an hour prior when you weren't doing it. What made you want to do it and made you want to fulfill or fill a need that wasn't there?
Well, I feel like the need's there, and I feel like we're demonstrating that by us creating this in general. We both come from a place where we're not going. You don't create a podcast and go, hey, you want to get rich really fast?
Yeah, right.
Let's do a podcast. There has to be there are no podcasters out there except for like JRE or your people who are getting millions and millions
Chris
from,
Provost.
right. You're not gonna get there without establishing and even their messages are for people who they have an underlying message they're trying to send
Yeah.
their listeners. And if I can be any part of, if one video we make affects one veteran somewhere in this whole process, the years that we're going to do this, if we help out one person, everything, the time spent, the money spent will be completely worth it. And that's the kind of place I'm coming from.
Okay.
My genuine goal is to just help other people.
Helping veterans,
And in
helping
the
veterans.
process, selfishly, I think it's going to help me.
Exactly. And see, and this is so I'm someone who out of the military went and became a career speaker, and this is something that I've done for a very long time. This gnat is going to piss me off today. It's been flying
Bzzz.
around, and I keep I'm about ready to Mr. Miyagi it. Like,
I can help you.
yeah, right. So no, and selfishly in a way, it's like yeah, it's going to be self-serving at the end. But as you know, with I say this being a former Disney cast member and of prior military, you don't go into either to make money. You go into it to
No.
make something very more
Relationships,
relationships, right?
friendships. Right.
Yeah. And so with that, I've got two final thoughts. First, you brought up the humbleness of the military. We talked about we just briefly touched on it a minute ago. Now, I know me. I'm humble I'm humble. Like I was that Marine who didn't like to be bothered when I was eating, but I do like the flag ceremony at Disney. What is your take on it?
I've never been, and I was just talking to my wife tonight about it because I've never been because they call attention to all the veterans who are there, and
Right.
it's their moment, and as it should be, and they do it well. I'm sure it's a beautiful
It's
ceremony,
phenomenal.
and I I'm not ashamed of my service whatsoever. I'm very proud of what I've done, and I had
Okay.
a fantastic career. But I don't want a constant reminder of like people that need to thank me all the time.
Right.
I don't like situations like that, and I try to avoid situations like that,
Can,
and to a
can I
fault.
put your mind at ease with that
Yeah.
real quick? So you would think it's like that, and it's a really big thing because there's a lot. You wouldn't believe how many veterans are at the park all day, every day, and that's being a veteran
Oh,
podcast.
there's a lot.
It's very important now that you have a presence there first and foremost, but secondly, it's for the soul. Oh my gosh, because you'll hear your anthem like when I hear the Marine Corps hymn play, and they say all the Marines, in audience today or whatever. I can't remember how it is. Please step forward. They don't call you out by name. They call the service out, and people stand up, step forward if you can move forward. And I always go to the POA, but it's such well done because the Disneyland band, the marching band comes out, and oh my gosh, they make a thing about it. They bring the colors down. They play taps. It's a beautiful thing. So for anybody who hasn't done it, who's listening, this is my pander to you. Go do it at least one time. It doesn't. If you're on the West Coast, do it at Disneyland. If you're WDW, do it at WDW, and if you end up at the other park, do it at that park because each one's different. I guarantee it because of different
Well,
parks.
I'm talked to my wife, and we're gonna go this trip. We're gonna go one
Okay.
time. When we go to Magic Kingdom, we're gonna go check it out,
Yeah.
and my wife's probably gonna record it, and then we'll be able to show people what that ceremony kind of looks like,
Yeah.
and we'll throw it up on the channel so people can see kind of what we're talking about.
It's one of my, like I said, I go at least once a trip. It's something that I'm very proud of because being a former Disney cast member, they also do a lot for the veterans within the parks,
Hmm.
and that's a big thing. So any veteran who has never done it, I say do it, watch it once. Don't because the reason I ask you is I know how humble you are about yourself and your service, but I do think that once a trip, make it a point because it's one of those things that's like it feeds the soul just enough to like, how you miss the camaraderie,
Right.
and it's like, man, for that brief moment in time, you look around and there's each branch of service, whether it's you chair force bastards or us jarheads or the sailors or even the Coast Guard or the Space Force, whoever it is. I don't even know how the Space Force has a hymn. I don't even know how that works. But yeah, right, yeah. But the fact of the matter is no matter what you are, no matter what veteran, no matter the branch, they do something right. And I was there for Dapper Day, and even there at Dapper Day, it was phenomenal.
That's cool.
Oh, that it was fun, and that's a different story, a different day for my time. But now that leads into our podcast. We were on a different podcast together, and we both. I was there a little bit longer than you were, but there was something that we both were missing, and I think what we were missing was a camaraderie aspect in from the military idea because you and I are both very creative people. We're both neurodivergent in many ways. Um, what was it about starting this podcast with me that made sense? Because there are multiple other people on that cast. Yeah, the veteran aspect plays into it, obviously. But what was it about the idea of Operation Magic that played into us coming together for this to present it toward veterans? Could have been anybody else, and you could have been the sole veteran.
Well, being a consumer of media for a long time, I know what I think people would enjoy and would be easy to listen to.
Right.
And I don't think that having two of the same people, it makes for good, content and videos. When you're trying to get a message like ours out there, you need a little bit of you know, like different personalities and different,
Yeah.
different little quirks about people. You know what I mean? And I originally joined that podcast in hopes that that would be my podcast that I could call, my permanent home.
Right. Right.
And that was the idea of joining. And you know, go through a few months, and I just kind of realized that it was just hop on, record. There's no kind of conversating afterwards. There's nothing to
Right.
keep us like as a team. And being in the military, I'm all about that kind of team teamwork mindset. And I could tell by us what we used to kind of pitch, not even with each other, just in our general chat back and forth, that like, okay, we're kind of on the same wavelength here of like what we want to do.
Right.
And I at first thought, to make a podcast and keep doing the other one, and thought that, okay, James here seems to be on the same level as like drive and dedication to kind of make something happen. And the veteran thing really was like icing on the cake. It really wasn't the driving factor. It was more
Right.
like I thought our personalities would kind of work well together to create stuff. And we were both so adamant about kind of positive change within that podcast, I thought, okay, let's give this a shot. And we did. And life kind of happened. And then, the real test was the text I sent you where I was like, hey, I want to do this for real, and be like committed to it. What do you think? And you were like, let's get on tonight,
Yeah, I'm in.
And
Let's do it.
so that was like a sign of like, okay, we could really do something here. And in our conversations, both of our goals were similar: to create a space for people like us, but also for anybody, but really to capture that veteran community really well, because it's kind of empty. There's not a lot of space out there for guys
Right.
like us.
Right. No, there isn't. There really isn't. So let's bring it all home before we do this game. Final thought. Because the whole idea is magic, right? This whole idea of Operation Magic and
Mm,
creating magic. And our last episode, we actually talked about we did our review of Epic Universe,
right.
your trip there. What is it overall? And we talked a little bit about this in the last episode, that makes Disney so pivotal in people's lives to make that magic so happen to where you want to keep going back, especially as a veteran who suffers from mental health, who suffers from their own demons and their own struggles of life. What is it about Disney over Universal for veterans? Because yes, they have shades of green, they have all the discounts, they have X, Y, and Z for us. Universal is a movie studio. They do everything on a larger scale.
Yeah, and you would think that Universal would be the appeal to most
Right.
veterans.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, we do love my wife and I love going to Universal when we want to get on those roller coasters and get a little bit of thrill. I'm a thrill seeker.
Oh, of course.
And that's why I'm excited for the Monsters Inc. kind of roller coaster, being a like legit coaster. When Tron was built, I was excited. But to me, man, you ever go to somebody's house, right? And there are some people's house you go to and you're like afraid to sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Or you kind of awkwardly stand there and it's just kind of like, man, I'm like a visitor in here. But then you have like your like best friend's house, and you just walk in the door, you feel like you're at home. You can go in the fridge, you can grab a beer, you can sit on their couch, you can flip on their TV, you can kind of hang out, and you don't feel uncomfortable. That's what Disney does for me, man. It's just like
that magic.
That magic is, and when I pitched this name of the podcast, I was really like, I hope James likes this name, because to me, the more this podcast goes on, the more the name just really makes sense, because our mission is to help people understand this magic by either getting there or hearing our stories about it.
Yeah, and if you go to our Instagram, you look at what the posts we're doing. We're creating fun stories, lore. We're not doing the normal like, hey, I'm going to show a video of myself talking. Yeah, we do that. We're not saying we
Of
don't.
course. Yeah.
But we do like random stuff. Like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin have made appearances in our feeds.
We got random shit going on for sure. And that's
we tie, but that's the idea of the magic. We want to create magic in different ways, and that's what Disney has allowed us to. The creativity, that idea, and Universal's great. And there are going to be veterans who will die on that hill. That's my part. Awesome. That's where you get your joy, and we love you all the same. But you're just not a Disney adult, and we get it. and you're a different type of weird, and that's okay. We like you
A little bit.
a little
I'm
bit.
just kidding.
All right. So, Josh, you think that sums up a little bit more of who you are? Then, is there something more you want to say? Anything else you got left?
Mm, I'm not really. I mean, I feel like that definitely sums it up. I'm not. I think that my message, especially like from my story, I wasn't a typical. If I grew up in Orlando, my story would be different.
Right.
Um, I, and even like most kids that you'll get into your story later, but some people who live right near the parks can't afford to go.
Yeah.
And I think for the long term, it's just kind of the way my plan has always been set up. I mean, the universe's plan for me is you're not going to need this magic right yet as a kid.
Right.
You're going to need this magic for when you get done with a career that's going to kind of take you through hell and back.
Yeah.
And now more than ever is where like I really need that little bit of pixie dust in my life on this bald head.
That little bit of extra.
A little bit of extra, man.
All right. Now, I created a game, as you guys saw. I was looking down, I was writing, and this game is my version of your Sensational Six. So everybody knows Disney Sensational Six. We have our Goofy, we have our Donald, we have our Mickey. We have all of them, right? But you're not stuck to just the Sensational Six. You get to choose, by the description that I give you, who you would put as your character. There's 6 of them. And this is where it gets fun, because you have no clue what's happening. They're all Air Force bases from across the United States.
Okay.
We're starting out in California, my home state, at March Air Force Base. March Air Force Base is it's the Air Reserve Base right out there, right outside. And it is been around since 1917. And it houses, it's a garrison, the 452nd Air Mobility Wing. Who would you take for there?
Off the rip, I just mentioned Toy Story earlier, so I gotta go with Buzz, I think, here, because you said 1917?
Yeah.
Damn, that just reminds me of like OG, like my childhood, like my earliest. So I could go like old cartoons, but I'm thinking like my lifetime. What's old for me?
Buzz.
And that Toy Story generation is goated, and I think Buzz matches that pretty good.
And you also it fits perfect because you have the 452nd operations, you have the 336 air refueling, the 729th airlift squadron. You've got all these big pieces out there. And you got First Combat Camera Squadron operating, with the location Charlie, which is they were established in 2017. But you also have combat camera squadrons out there. I mean, that's a Buzz type character. Now, the next one. We have some pretty deep ones tonight.
Okay.
We're going to go Nels Air Force Base.
Nels.
Nels, yes, that is out of it's Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nellis, right?
Nellis, yes. Formerly McCarran Field. It's the home of the 99th Air Base Wing, and its occupants of the United States Air Force Warfare Center, 53rd Test and Evaluation Group, 57th Wing, 365th Intelligence, Surveillance, and Recon Group, 505th Command and Control, 563rd Rescue Group, 922nd Wing, and the 820th Red Horse Squadron, Joint Center and Electromagnetic Readiness Task Force, and home of the fabulous Air Force Thunderbirds, plus the big test range out there.
Home to the Thunderbirds is leading me towards Marvel and Falcon.
Okay.
That just seems to fit pretty well. And all these big, I'm trying to like, man, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with Falcon, but all these bases, it's easy to pick right now I have 2 characters with fucking wings, so I just I have to try to mix it up a bit more, but I'm just going with my gut, what my gut tells me. And
all right,
Falcon and Buzz, I got quite the team already.
Now we're going out of the United States.
Out of the United States. Ooh, cool.
We're headed to a place. It's a little island. It's been around since the field, 1944, as North Field. It's a little island by the name of Guam. It houses the 36th Wing, and it's been around since World War II. It would be Anderson Air Force Base. They're also assigned to the Pacific Air Force's 11th Air Force. So that if that helps you any with what your decision might be, they're home of the B-1Bs, the B-2s, and the B-52s. It was also one of two critical bases, the other being Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean.
I'm going to keep it in the region. And B-52 makes me think, you got a big-ass jet.
Right.
Their motors are crazy, by the way. I'm going to go with Maui.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep that kind of island vibe with my boy Maui.
Okay.
My daughter loves Moana. So it's on my brain because I have one of those Tony machines that sings songs, and she's got the Moana one that just is on all of the time. That and Frozen, just all the time. What can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome. Of course, man. All right. Now we are moving back to the United States to a little place called Sumter.
Huh.
And this place happened to have been around since World War II. It was built in 1941. It is home to the 20th Fighter Wing. And it has been a big post-war base for several years. That base would happen to be Shaw Air Force Base. Out of
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Of Air Combat Command.
Zazu.
Why Zazu?
Shaw's kind of annoying.
Okay.
Shaw. I've been to Shaw Air Force Base, and there isn't much out there. And if you want to see anything, you're gonna have to be at a bird's eye view anyway. So, and it's kind of like, and not seeing Zazu is inherently but in The Lion King as a kid, you automatically dislike the figures of authority. Zazu is that figure of like, no, you gotta do it this way. You can't go over there.
Yeah.
And Shaw's annoying. So I'm gonna go with Zazu, bro.
Okay, because that makes sense because it says major commands to which it was assigned the first Air Force, 1945 Continental Air Forces, 1945 Air Defense Command, Tactical Air Command, Continental Air Command, Tactical Air. So all these stupid air commands, Air Combat Command. So it's always been a command. So yeah, Zazu, that makes sense. All right, the next two, the other one seemed really easy, right? Well, I want to save a goated one for last, but we're going to go We're going to go into. We're going to go into where are we at? Ah, yes. We're going into a great little place. It is the home of Command Control Research Laboratory and Research and Development, and it is responsible for the planning of the executing of all science and technology programs within the Air Force. And it would be that of the one and only Rome Air Depot. The Rome Air Depot, yes.
I have to think right away, bro. I'm thinking Stitch. Based off of all the science kind of stuff, the research shit you spouted out in the beginning of a ton of research stuff, I'm thinking that they're probably got a Stitch already there and they're not telling us. I'm thinking that it's gotta be Stitch.
Yeah, it's home of the Communications Research Branch, the Air Force Electromagnetics Laboratory, and
They're creating shit in there.
yeah, the EDS assignments, and the Rome Laboratory, which was built in 1997, which is now the Air Force Research part of their facilities. So whatever they got going on there, there's not a lot that could be said about it. Obviously, it's a research facility. They ain't gonna say shit, but
No.
I could see Stitch. Now we are going all the way out to the middle of the desert.
Oh.
All the way out there, we are going to a place that people might call Homey Airport, but people know it of a different name.
What is that?
It's home in the middle of New Mexico in Nevada. It's a place that we've all speculated about for years.
Oh man, I should have saved Stitch.
It's a place where we all assume crazy stuff has happened because of the X-Files and other movies like Men in Black. I'm talking about the one, the only, Area 51.
Okay. Okay. Well, you could pick any Disney character if you want, because if they're walking, talking like they are in the cartoons, then that's some
wild shit.
Crazy shit right there. But let me,
as Doc Brown would say, when this shit hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
Let me try to think of something. I have one that popped in my head right away.
Okay.
Don't want to use them, but I might just fall back on them because I'm having a brain fart for anything bigger than that.
Okay.
I'm going outside of Disney. I mean, I'm going like acquired with Star Wars.
Okay.
But I just imagine like a captured Yoda sitting behind bars, just like, let me out, you must, And I'm just picturing that an array of Disney characters.
Oh yeah,
just behind bars,
like what Sweet Pete did in Chip and Dale.
Yeah. So I gotta go with Yoda. It's just my gut reaction. Because I would be fulfilled if I broke into Area 51 and the first thing I saw was Yoda just chilling there, like
just chilling.
Can you
help? Can you let me
do
out, man?
something here?
Can you do something? Yeah. It's like Emperor Palpatine taking Luke's severed hand and making clones.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's gotta be some weird shit there, bro.
You have a wild list. You understand this, right? So his Sensational Six guys, this is a solid team. For March Air Force Base, he took Buzz. For Nellis, he gave us the Falcon. For Anderson out in the middle of Guam, he gave us Maui. You're welcome. And then for Homie, he gave us Yoda because it's Area 51. Rome, since it's a research lab and we don't know shit about it. Good old Stitch. And for Shaw, since he knows a little bit about Shaw and the annoyance of what Shaw is, he went with Zazu. That's a solid set. How did you feel about this game? Did you like it?
I did. I now I'm reflecting. I completely stand by every decision I made, especially Zazu.
I mean, I get it, bro. I mean, totally. And I wanted to keep you on your toes because, there's a lot of bases out there that you haven't been to. You were stationed in Jersey, like you said. Yep. You've been around the bases in South Carolina, so you know what certain things are and how they feel and what they look like, as many do. And I figured throwing some different ones out there that would make you have to think about different characters would be fun. So thank you for playing along with this random Sensational Six game that I created on the fly.
That was fun. I got to come up with something now for the Marine episode.
Hey, that'd be fun. Hey, that's a good time.
I gotta try to figure something out. Something
if it involves
a bit
crayons
different.
and me eating, I might win.
Yeah. What?
It's like trying to taste the color number 9.
What you guys took the ASVAB, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it just color inside the lines, the pictures, or what? What do you guys do?
Oh, it's a lot. I got there and
Sir, do you have a red crayon? All I have is blue and green.
No, I showed up with the pen and I showed up with a pen and they handed me a red crayon and said, "Here it is."
Yeah, here you go. What's a pen for? Like,
I showed up with this and they gave me a crayon. That's how it works, man. That's how it works. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. We want to do something different outside the box because we talk a lot about other things, senses, trip reports. We have, we've interviewed our good friend Lou. We have Katie coming on for Halloween. We have a lot of stuff that we do, but we haven't really talked a lot about the veteran stuff. And being a Disney veteran, to sum this all up, it's a weird space to be in. And I know this, he knows this. And for us, it's really hard to fathom being told that we're weird or we're different because you're in the military and you're going to Disney. You know what? It's weird being in the military at 18 through however long you've been. You could be in there 20 years. But the fact of the matter is, it's hard for us to find something that we truly love. There are people that found World of Warcraft, that found, church, that found Dungeons and Dragons, found strip clubs, as many did, found drinking to be a hobby. But Disney was the safe option, and you could drink at Disney too. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Disney is a perfect escape for any veteran, whether you were in or you're out, and you took your family. I wouldn't you agree to that? I would think
100%. And before we roll our beautiful outro, my final kind of message that I find very important, besides this whole episode we just did for an hour, is that if you do stumble across our content and you have made it this far in the video, and you're a veteran or you're anybody, and you're going through some shit, and you're in that kind of dark space, you don't need to leave us a comment. Go to our Instagram, Operation Magic Pod. Shoot us a message. We'll be happy to chat with you. We'll be happy to talk with you. We are a space for you, and that's kind of our main goal is to give you a spot to chill.
Man, 100%. I think that's the best way to sum it up. I couldn't have even said it better. That's phenomenal, my guys. So thank you again for myself. That's our good buddy Josh. I hope you enjoy everything that we've created. And you want to send us out with the new outro? I mean, we got this bitchin' outro.
Dude, let's run that shit.
Run it. All right, squad, listen up. You already know who we are. We are the Operation Magic Podcast. Disney loving, dad run, veteran built. Every week, we're here bringing you that magic straight to the veins. And now we've got something even bigger. It's official, guys. The Operation Magic merch. Those t-shirts, those hoodies, the mugs, stickers, you name it. All Disney inspired, all made for the Operation Magic squad. This isn't just gear. This is the uniform. You throw this on, you're not just a fan. You're a part of the family. Every piece supports this show, keeps the mission alive, and helps us keep bringing laughs, the stories, and the magic every single week. So what are you waiting for? Hit operationmagic.printful.me right now. Grab your gear and show the world who you are rolling with. Operation Magic. Rep the magic. Rep the squad.